Hey everyone, it's now 36 years today since I became an instructor. I feel old. So stay tuned, I'll tell you why I became an instructor and how, if you wanted to, you can become an instructor in the UK. I'm experimenting with 3 cameras today. I've got this amazing 360-1X. I've got my Hero 8 black, and of course my helmet cam. And I'll be switching between the views just so that you don't get too bored. Hello. I never thought 36 years ago that I'd have electrically heated clothing or an electric bike. But I have both. So what made me become an instructor? There was a guy that I used to hang around with at school that I used to look up to, Steve, if you're still around. Hi Steve. Big inspiration, really nice guy, very intelligent, and he was an instructor, so he said, why don't you come along and just have a look and see what you think. And I realised it was more than just a badge. You were actually helping people, which I thought was really nice. So I went through all the training, which wasn't easy, and this was in 1984. So I had problems trying to get the respect of the older people that have been driving lorries for 30-40 years. But eventually I did. And then I went on to working for another school. The original school was a school called Star Rider, and then I went on to work for a school called Ace Rider, and then eventually started my own up, Roadcraft School of Motorcycling, in 1989, and then it just became Roadcraft Nottingham really since I started the YouTube channels in 2011, 2010. So how do you become an instructor? There's 2 ways in the UK you can become an instructor, and you've got to be DVSA, Driver Vehicle Standards Agency approved, or approved by a local school that has what we call down-trained you. So the first way is to be sponsored by a school. So in return for you helping them out, they'll train you up. And when they think that you're suitable to be able to go solo, they will down-train you or give you a down-train certificate. You need to have a full license for 3 years before you can train. And then once you're trained up, you can teach to CBT or compulsory basic training level for as long as you want. And you can be licensed to as many schools as you want. If you wanted to go further and possibly train your own instructors up, then you could go to Cardington in Bedfordshire. It's the training establishment headquarters. We call it Puzzle Palace. Where you'll go through a lot of role play, where examiners will pretend to be the pupils, and then you will try to put right things that they're doing wrong. If you pass that, you can be training instructors if you want to. You can, of course, train like you did on the CBTs before. And you can also return for a half-a-day course. The CBT is a 2-day course, and you can return for the half-a-day course to be direct access qualified. So in the UK, you've got the laws. If you want to ride a bigger bike, you need to prove to them that you can ride a bigger bike on the road, which, and no disrespect to you Americans, because you don't have the laws, or you don't have control over the laws, but it blows the MSF into the weeds. Because how can you wobble around the car park for a couple of hours and then prove to people that you can ride a ZX-10 on the road? This is why you see a lot of UK instructors out on the road doing actual lessons, where unfortunately MSF instructors can only talk theory on a car park, which is okay, but you need some real world experience. We use radio systems. You can use 2-way if you want, but I find that training pupils that are new to biking makes it difficult and distracted for them. So I only use two-way radios when I do advanced training. Come on, mate. And then once you do the direct access, if you wanted to, you can become an ERS or advanced enhanced rider scheme instructor. And there's several ways to do that. You can either go for the diploma in advanced motorcycle training, which is the ROSPA, or you can do your theory test and become an ERS instructor through being DAS qualified through the DVSA route. But again, you can always Google that if you really needed to know. I don't want to bore you. But the reason I enjoy the instructing lark, I don't do it so much now. I've got people that do it and I'm more of a fill-in instructor nowadays. You still get people coming up to you and saying, oh, you taught me from having never ridden a bike before and now I've got this ZX6 or R1. And it's really nice to know that they remember their instructor. We've got a really good team at Roadcraft at the moment. It's all positive. And people enjoy themselves and it's a good crack. I do find though that the majority of people that start out training with us to be instructors don't actually end up sticking with it. The main reason being is because I don't think they expect it to be as hard as it is. I think they might expect you to just stand there saying, yep, you missed a shoulder check, yep, you need to be positioned over here. But there's a lot more to it when you're instructing. You get the young uns not listening to you. You get people that are really struggling with something and you have to really dig into your bag of tricks to try and come out with an explanation that might actually click with them. You get cold, you get wet, you get frustrated. So I'd probably say, I've not done an actual survey, but I'd honestly say a good 90-95% of people who start out training to be instructors don't actually end up continuing. The other way of doing it is to go on an intensive course. So it's like a week course where they will intensively train you to be an instructor for £2,500 or whatever it is. Personally, I don't agree with that way of doing it because it's like anything you do. Cramming to get through for a piece of paper doesn't exactly make you good at what you do or experienced. And unless the instructor is absolutely phenomenally good, it's unlikely they're going to put you through all the situations that you're going to be going through in real life. So I hope this has helped you, and if not, I just hope you've enjoyed coming along for the ride with me. What I'm going to do is just have a little bit more of a ride on the Zero, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.